It was a cold winter night, and I had just settled down into bed when I heard a loud, thunderous knock on the front door. Startled, I sat up, my heart racing. It was well past midnight, and the darkness outside seemed to press against the windows, intensifying the feeling of unease that had already settled over me. I hesitated for a moment, wondering who could be calling at such an unearthly hour, but curiosity got the better of me. Reluctantly, I slid out from under the warm covers and made my way downstairs to answer the door. As I approached the door, a sense of foreboding gripped me. Something felt off, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I peered through the peephole, and my breath caught in my throat. Standing on the porch was a tall, broad-shouldered figure, their face partially obscured by the hood of their coat. Though I couldn't see their features clearly, I could feel their eyes fixed on me, waiting for me to open the door. "Who are you?" I asked, trying to sound brave despite the fear that was creeping over me. The figure didn't answer. Instead, they continued to stare at me intently, their gaze piercing through the peephole. It felt as if their eyes could read my thoughts, and a shiver ran down my spine. A sense of impending danger washed over me like an icy wave. "Can I help you with something?" I managed to ask, my voice trembling. "Let me in," the figure said, their voice low and menacing. I hesitated for a moment, my mind racing. I remembered the old adage, never invite strangers into your home. The warning echoed in my mind, but the intense curiosity gnawing at me had diminished my better judgment. Against my instincts, I took a step back and opened the door. The figure stepped inside, their presence suffocating the room with an eerie silence. The air grew colder, and a nauseating stench, reminiscent of decay, filled my nostrils. I felt a lump form in my throat as the figure slowly removed their hood, revealing a face that was twisted with anger. It was a face I recognized, a face that had haunted my dreams and filled me with dread. Before me stood a man, his features contorted into a mask of malevolence. His eyes, dark and hollow, held a chilling emptiness that made my blood run cold. The realization hit me like a bolt of lightning, searing through my mind. This man was responsible for the string of murders that had plagued our town. A mixture of fear and anger coursed through my veins, fueling my voice as I stammered, You're the one, the murderer." The man's lips curled into a sinister grin, revealing yellowed, decaying teeth. "You should have let me in," he whispered, his voice dripping with a sadistic satisfaction. My heart pounded in my chest, and panic threatened to overwhelm me. I mustered every ounce of courage and managed to speak, my voice trembling but defiant. "What do you want from me?" His laughter filled the room, echoing in my ears like a macabre symphony. "What I wanted, I already took," he said, his eyes gleaming with a twisted pleasure. "Your fear, your torment. That's all I ever wanted." I stood there, paralyzed with fear, unable to move or speak. The man turned and walked out of the room, his footsteps fading into the darkness. I was left alone with my terror and uncertainty, my mind swirling with questions that may never be answered. Days turned into nights, and the weight of paranoia settled over me like a suffocating blanket. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, that he was always lurking in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike again. I became obsessed with locking doors, checking windows, and double-checking my surroundings. Sleep became a distant memory, replaced by restless nights plagued by nightmares. The authorities continued their investigation, but the man remained elusive, leaving behind no traces and no witnesses. The town was gripped by fear, and whispers of his name spread like wildfire through the community. Years passed, and life moved on, but the scars remained. The man, his face etched into my memory, haunted every corner of my existence. Even in the brightest of days, a dark cloud loomed overhead, reminding me of the evil that lurked in the world. To this day, I live in constant fear, perpetually looking over my shoulder, afraid to let my guard down. The doors are locked, the windows secured, but the lingering doubt remains. Will he return? Is he watching me at this very moment? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, I would really appreciate it if you left a like, and maybe even subscribed.